Darren, good to see you. Tell us a little bit about why you're here and what this is all about.
Obviously it's Mental Health Day. Blakely have put on an event, and like I say, there's a lot of runners here, and I think it's just to try and get the message across that a bit of fitness can help your mental state and mental attitude. So we're looking forward to this. Hopefully a jog.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people who follow you on social media will know how much you like to run. I mean, talk to us a little bit about what that does for you in terms of your mental health.
Yeah, I've kind of done the same things I've done for the last 20 years, to be honest. I still train 7 days a week, run 6 days a week, so this is kind of like a natural environment for me. People don't try and race me because then it's game on. But I think it's just good to get out there. Fitness is good for anybody, whether it's walking, biking, running. A little bit every day has got to help, so that's how I look at it anyway.
Yeah, I know you're speaking there, but I was going to ask you a similar question in terms of you speak to a lot of footballers when they retire, and they speak about the struggle, the transition from going from being in that environment to not being in it. So that exercise and having that sort of mental health and looking after that is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, you're kind of told what to do from when you're 16 all the way till you pack up, and then the next day you kind of got no purpose. Some people haven't got direction, and it's very difficult for some, but I'm very lucky that I've kind of just kept training like I was as a professional. So, but people do struggle. I've had teammates who have tried to take their own lives. It's not nice, and you don't see it coming. So it's one of these where you've got to speak to people, check with people, and hopefully get them in the right direction.
I know you tweeted about this, but Norwich City generally, the work they've done, the video they released, the minutes unsilent this weekend, it's a special football club for that sort of community presence, isn't it, and raising awareness for stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they've always been in the community, they've always tried their best to reach out to people, but I think the video that they put out last year really touched a nerve with not just of our fans, but fans across the world. So, them kind of messages can help. But it's about talking to individuals. If it's your mates down a pub, it's your mates at, a football team, a netball team, anything, wherever you are, just speak to people, try and get the inside and how they're getting on, and just a hello, or just what's your week been like, or anything really, just to connect with people. I think that's what it's about.
Do you think the game has changed in that sense? If you're a player now, do you think the environment would maybe be a lot different to when you started in that respect?
Probably a little bit more, probably not as brutal, probably not as, I won't say cutthroat, but there was no hiding place. There was no place to, talk to people. It's one thing where you just didn't do it. You just got on with it. So that's probably for the better. But then it's one of them games where you have to be tough. You have to be mentally tough just to get through it. So, it's probably not as brutal as it used to be. But then players have still got, good mental attributes, because that's one of the toughest games in the world.
Yeah, and you've obviously played for a lot of clubs. How unique is this club in terms of the stuff that it does for mental health and in the community?
I can only see it from, obviously, since I've been here, working at the academy, and then obviously as a club ambassador. They do try, but I'm sure now a lot of clubs, the game's moved on, the world's moved on in the last 15, 20 years. So I think everyone's trying, but we've still got a long way to go, because there's still people committing suicide week in, week out. So we're trying, but we've got a long way to go.
Yeah, I know Rob asked you about Leon McKenzie, someone that you know well, and has been very public about his challenges. That helps as well, doesn't it? The fact that people are willing to come forward and share their experiences and their stories, because it helps other people.
Yeah, because I can remember Leon rang me when he was at Coventry, and he was really struggling with injuries, and I spoke to him. I knew he was down, but I think a week later he tried to kill himself. So I sometimes think, what if I could have done more? But sometimes you don't know, because Leon McKenzie was a big, strong, aggressive, attacking player. You wouldn't have thought he'd have them kind of problems, but some people do, and you've got to look past the bravado sometimes and see what's behind it. And looking for us that Leon's still here, and he's probably spreading his message the right way now. Yeah,
and running and football and exercise, as you said right at the start, is so powerful, isn't it? To help with people individually, but also to bring people together to sort of create some of those conversations that you spoke about.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, because a lot of people meet up week in, week out, whether it's in your grassroots football or, like I say, netball, table tennis clubs, anything that you see people week in, week out, you get a chance not just to say hello, but to get a bit closer and try and delve a bit deeper into what people are thinking. So it's difficult, because not everyone wants to talk. Some people are quiet, but just a hello, just how's your week been? How's the family? Bits and bobs like that can bring people out, and that's what we're looking. Well, days like this is hopefully you can pass it on.
Just a few more then. It'd be remiss of us not to ask you about stuff on the pitch. What have you made of it so far? Because obviously after a bit of a slow start, it seems over the last few weeks to have really improved.
Yeah, I think we've hit a good bit of form. I think the manager and Ben Napper have done really well, because You know, it wasn't plain sailing. We've had a few things thrown at us. You know, obviously the John Rowe thing, Sarah going, Abu ended up going. So it's not been easy. And the manager could have used that as an excuse, but he never did. We signed some, like good players. They've been bedded in now, and I think the fans can see that we're heading in the right direction. Only early though. Let's not get. We've won 4 games. Let's not get too carried away. But I think the fans can see that we're trying to do the right things. We're aggressive with and without the ball. Whatever's happening, we still try and win the game if we can. And it's been really positive. We've just got to try and keep it going. But it's a long season, and we've got to be careful that people don't get too carried away, because it can happen where people think, we've won 4 games, we've won the league. And I know it, and the players know it, that 4 or 5 wins doesn't get you anything in this league. So long way to go, but a positive start.
It feels like this run now where you play teams that maybe know a little bit more about the way that they want to play. This is going to be sort of the challenge period where teams adapt, and there's a few injuries obviously picking up now. This is sort of where the challenge comes.
Because now everyone's seen us, and they'll be looking at us and know what our threats are. Signs has been unbelievable so far this season, but if you're the opposite team, you're thinking, let's put a stop to that, and that's how football is. But it's up to us to find ways to win games, to keep on improving. We could do that. We've got the players to do it. We're going in the right direction, but we've just got to be a bit careful that we don't put too much pressure on the manager and the players just yet, because we are still adapting. And it sounds horrible, but you're one injury away from it kind of not going where you want it to go. So hopefully we get over this international break. The players that are slightly injured, hopefully fit for the next game, because Angus and Nunes would be a big loss if they're not fit. So they both had excellent starts to the season. So we've just got to keep it going and not get too carried away.
Final one, Borja Sainz, got to ask you about him and his start to the season. I mean, you were a winger, you know how important confidence is, particularly for that position. How impressed have you been with him?
Really impressed. I think he's been our best attacking player so far this season, even though when things as a team aren't going well, he's always a bit of a threat, and that's what you need really, because sometimes you're not going to be playing well, and you need someone who can get you out the crap really. So really positive. He's got an eye for goal, he can make an assist, and that's what you want from a player. He's a bit fiery. He's probably got to calm that down a little bit. But as long as he don't get himself in any trouble, long may it continue. People will be watching him, whether it be other players, other managers, and they'll try and stop him. So he's going to expect a few kicks.
Good stuff, top man. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that.
Cheers, thank you.